baby, look at the body. It's
Hello.
The body is on. And if there's one thing that Alexis Michelle is good TV.
Good TV.
Okay. Okay, because I'm starting to realize that reading is fundamental.
Do you watch the show, Tamar?
Do you watch the show, Tamar? Hey, y'all, it's me, Sapphira Cristál, and welcome to Sapphira. Today, we have a dear friend of mine, a very special guest. You might know her from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 8. You may have seen her on the subway between gigs. You might have also seen her new book,
No Tea, No Shade.
No Tea, No Shade. You may also have seen her on TLC. Baby, she is everywhere because she is a diva. Give it up for my good friend, the one and only Alexis Michelle. Yes, honey. It's so good to see you. You look gorgeous.
So do you, Mama. So do
wow.
you.
This is so
we look
beautiful.
good.
We do look
look
good.
really
It's
good.
good to look good.
It's
you
good
know?
to look good. Good to see and be seen.
Good to see and be seen. I love this hair. Who made this hair?
This is, of course, our lovely Brooklyn sister, Madeline Hatter.
Madeline Hatter from
Dragula.
Dragula.
Fame.
She was on Dragula, yeah.
And one of the OG nightlife NYC legends from when I started coming up.
Same.
And yeah, she made a total name for herself as a drag artist. And
then she just decided,
had this whole
I'm just gonna
other
sit at home and make hair.
career making hair, and she's living the life, living that beautiful trans life, and we love our Maddie.
We do love Maddie. Yeah, she made my hair from my season when I wore that big black dress for the 80s look.
1980s, I remember
1980s.
it. And actually,
Drag con in the 80s.
that's right. And I pulled out a piece from her, a very bright, like apple red piece with some stones in the front, for the first girl group challenge on All Stars.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just the ticket because we all had like sickening, very colorful looks that would have made for, some really wow. But I think one person in our girl group, I don't remember who, didn't have color. They only had black. And so we decided to just go with black because it was like unifying. And for the vibe of our number, I think it was fine anyway. But wearing the bright red Madeline hair, Michelle Visage even said something about it. She's
nice.
Very smart to pop in that hair color.
It's always very smart to wear red, honestly. It always pops anytime.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. So drag has been, around forever, and you,
I've been around forever too.
honey, we have seen you go from up and down here and there. We've seen you on Drag Race, but I've known you forever. I've known you since way before Drag Race.
It's so cool. What's wild is like we've had this shared experience, this shared Drag Race experience, but our sisterhood goes back way before that. Way before any of us were on Drag Race.
Do you remember we used to? It's funny. There is a brunch that is full of current Drag Race girls, and I was the last one to get it.
and at that point, none of us had done it.
None of us had done it.
So Honey Davenport was the
the host.
hostess, and she grabbed all her fierce friends, and it was you and me and Dusty Ray Bottoms and Britta Filter, and we all got Drag Race.
Yeah. One by one.
One by one. And yes, and I said this to you, and like it's so true. When we got the good news that you were going to go do it, we were like, it's about damn time. Because, yes, that brunch was full of stars, but like we always saw this for you.
Oh, thank you.
Always.
Yeah. It was a fun experience too. But like I said, I've seen you since back in the day. How do you think Alexis has evolved over the years? Because I see it, but the funny thing is I see how you've evolved, but you still are so gorgeous. You've always been so gorgeous.
So it's funny. I was thinking back to that brunch because we had both, at that point, you and I were both dabbling in pageantry. And so we were, always about the beauty. We loved the beauty,
queens.
darling. And like that was true then. I remember we looked good.
Yeah.
But honey, we've come a long way
look
since then.
good now, honey.
It's one of the things I really admire about you and your drag is you don't just sort of like rest and sit and go, this is it. You keep running with it, evolving. I feel like for me, you asked me sort of what my evolution has been. I think it's just like a willingness to stay open and remain teachable.
Yeah.
The kids that are younger than us, they've had so much at their fingertips. You know, there's on YouTube, on IG, on TikTok, there's so much you can learn about the art of drag before you ever are like doing it in a club. And so I think, like I can watch those things now too and take little tidbits and do. But also like we have a lot of younger sisters who we are on tour with all the time, who we're doing this and that with. And like, I'm always paying attention and saying like, oh, and even, you know, Sasha Velour, who won my original season, whenever we see each other, she's like, what are your must-have products?
Yeah.
And it's like this little silver glitter that's, you know, in the inner corner of my eye. Like I told her what it is. She's like, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a willingness to like keep evolving. Like some girls are like, this is it. I'm done. I'm good.
This is as good as it's gonna get.
You know what I
this is
mean?
Perfect. And you know, I had Crystal Versace paint my face.
Oh my God, I saw, and it's crazy that you bring her up because I was about to say, some people are like, no, that's it, I'm good. And it's like, well, you could keep learning, except she's the person I thought of when I thought about this when I was painting my face today. I was like, and sometimes when they start, they're good enough to stay where they are.
The funny thing is, if you look at her face back then when she won, it was good. It wasn't as subtle as it is now. She has this ability to continue to learn and continue to grow and to be. She is so kind and so focused.
Yeah.
Oh, I really don't envy her. I would say I admire her.
Oh, I admire her too. Yeah. And you're right. Like it has evolved. It's not like but it was even,
great then.
Even if it never evolved
it was,
from that, you'd be a hell of a lot better off than a lot of cross-dressers on this planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it has a whisper about it. It has more blend, more airbrush to it. Like it's fierce. And also, I just have to say, since you brought her up, can we talk about her Jessica Rabbit?
Her Jessica Rabbit, her Chloe. Did she do Chloe? She did one of those Kardashians, right? Was it Chloe?
I just feel we have seen drag artists, you know, after drag artist and otherwise tackle Jessica Rabbit, and I really, I think Rosé commented on her post, said like, "Oh, this is the best one," and I said, "I think so.
Yeah,
I think this is my favorite I've ever seen." Her proportions were so insane. That waist,
yeah, she's a very tiny girl.
To be able to like have that and then to build out from there, the girl knows how to proportionize. And just the face, like it's just was like pure living cartoon heaven. So props, Crystal,
true artist
for that. That's Jessica Rabbit,
Crystal Versace. Do you feel like your evolution, your growth, could be attributed to your personal growth?
I think like they go kind of hand in hand, like that openness, that willingness. I definitely there were periods over the last, you know, several years, like post Drag Race, where I was not in as good of a place. Yeah. And honey, you could see it in the drag. You know what I mean?
You could see it.
You see it in someone's spirit. You see it on their face. You see it in how they move through the world. So I think like the more you can get right with yourself, the more ability there is to keep going. I think people get stuck, right?
I feel the same way. Yeah, I feel like there have been some days where I, you know, really not feeling in my life, and I end up painting way too hard. There's black on my face. There's like I'm just like, I'm gonna do it until I feel good, and then I still do it, and I'm like, no, this isn't enough. This isn't enough anymore.
Right. It's like the mask verse like
just bringing yourself out.
Yeah.
You know, drag to me brings me out.
Totally.
You know, speaking of evolutions, personally, we're both personal evolved people. Back in the day, we used to drink a lot and
Smoke a
smoke a lot of
weed, honey.
I did a lot of cocaine. I don't know about you.
I did some other things.
Yeah.
Some other things. Some dry goods, as they
Some
say.
dried goods.
Yeah.
And I have been clean and sober for 6 years.
You're a miracle.
Yeah, it's
A miracle and an inspiration.
it's been wild. But you've also been sober, no?
I am. I've been on the journey for a while now. I don't have that same amount of consecutive time
honey.
because it's a non-linear journey, as we know.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I tell people, because I work a program, and I tell people that I know in those spaces that, like, I kind of been dancing around this for 20 years. Now, it's not that I was pursuing sobriety for 20 years, but it was first sort of like offered to me with a soft hand by a friend. And back then, like 20 years ago, I was like, oh no, not me. Not me, honey.
No, honey, I got some drinking to do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but a little over a year and a few months ago, I came back with new intention, new understanding, and have been pursuing it since then. So I will say, to anybody who struggles in any way, because it can be many things. It's not just drink. It's not just substance. It can be food. It can be sex. It can be shopping. It can be gambling. It can be just about anything. And just to say that, like, you've got another option. There's another way. And for me, I really feel like it was the missing ingredient my whole life.
Yeah. I would say that the day I said this to my mom because she smoked cigarettes, and I was telling her, I said, the day I put my crutch down was the day that I could start walking.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It was the day that I could just go, oh, actually I can walk, and everything changed for me.
Yeah.
Like that, literally, I would say the month that I quit drinking, because I had quit cocaine in November. So now I am officially 7 years sober.
Wow.
From cocaine. I'm officially 7 years sober from everything when this comes out.
Amazing.
I quit cocaine in November, quit marijuana in December, and quit drinking on January 11th. Wow. Was my last drink. And it was like, I drank half the drink. It was like, you know what? I don't even want this.
Yeah, it's been longer than that, not longer than that, but longer than my continuous sobriety from alcohol. I haven't had any alcohol it'll be 2 years soon.
Yeah.
And that made a big change. But there was other behavior to tend to. And even if it's not, like we said, not a drink or a substance, sometimes it's like your emotional sobriety.
Sometimes being a control freak.
Yep.
Yeah, I realized once I put those things down, there was nothing else for me to blame. There was nowhere else for me to hide. I had to come to terms. I actually broke up with both of my boyfriends at the time too. One broke up with my ex-fiance, and then also broke up with my boyfriend. Basically just threw everything away. It was like, all right, I gotta go over here or else I'm gonna die. And I thank God every day for, it was a hard time. It was hard on me. It was hard on them. It was hard on everyone. But it had to be done. And now I just love me. I really do. And I love me too then. I think I loved me in thought, the theory of loving oneself. But the actions did not really support that. Like if someone were to look at me and they're like, you don't love you. Like, what are you talking about? Someone who could really see. You know what I mean? How do you feel today?
So great.
Yeah.
Like you said. And I think it's a daily practice,
Yes.
right? Loving oneself, really practicing self-care is not a destination. It's a daily practice and a daily journey. And I think you have to love yourself enough to be able to show up for yourself and say, you know what? Not this.
Cut.
My book.
Where were we?
Yeah, feeling good, daily practice.
Yeah.
Without getting into specifics, because, in my program we speak in things in a general way, but it's important that I try to maintain my spiritual fitness. And that can be done in a multitude of ways. That can be going to a meeting, that can be going to a yoga class, it can be meditating, it can be praying, it could be doing my makeup and coming to see my sister.
Yeah.
And look at our lives. In the words of Ina Garten, how bad can it be?
How bad can
You know what
it
I'm
be?
saying? Like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And
Sitting's questionable, but but no, it's pretty cool.
yeah, I'm not wearing what I thought I was wearing. I just realized it. Oh, baby, look, the body is
Hello.
on. The body is on. This life is really beautiful. It feels good. What would you say to people who look at us and say, how can I get there?
I think the first thing I would say is be patient.
Yeah.
Like we've said, it's not always linear. It's a journey. It's not a destination.
And we're still on our journey.
And we're still figuring it out, Mama.
Yeah.
Like, what we know is that we don't know.
Yeah.
So I think be patient and stay open and stay teachable. I've said that now a few times. Like, and be. Kindness is important in the world, both like what you put out to others, but baby, you got to be kind here first.
Yeah.
The negative, more than negative, I think the hateful self-talk that a lot of people do to themselves is damaging.
Very.
Is damaging. So
Very.
Be patient. It takes time and keep going, and it's not something you'll arrive at. Just I don't know, do something that you know is good for you every day.
How
about start
I try
there?
to do something that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Just anything that makes me happy.
Yeah.
That doesn't harm another person.
Right.
Just like do something that puts a smile on your face. Start that. I call it the good energy snowball effect. Start that snowball and just let it grow and grow and grow. But you have to start it at some point. You know what I mean?
And one way, if you're stuck on like what that looks like, or if you're like, oh, nothing makes me happy, then figure out something that makes someone else happy.
Yeah.
And do that. Maybe it's calling someone in your family or a friend that could use a phone call.
Yeah.
Or giving somebody a ride, or picking up a sweet treat for them, like whatever, you know? So start with an act of service.
Acts of service make a load of difference.
Yeah.
Speaking of acts of service, you actually have been quite the servant. You've championed LGBTQ rights. You've championed trans rights. What does it feel like to champion and be a fighter in such a hard time?
Well, I know I'm sitting right across from someone who uses the same platform much in the same way, which is like any chance we get, speak out on the most vulnerable right now, and those are our trans brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
It's really just history repeating itself, and I know like nothing I'm saying we don't know about. I know we all know about this, but I think we have to continue to say the things that seem obvious, because you never know when you might reach someone who needs to hear it. And it's that, the attention being turned to trans folks right now. It's been done before. You are a member of multiple marginalized communities. So am I. We share some of them. And it's been done before. And this is how it works. This is how people in power and fear and greed and corruption do it. They turn to vulnerable, marginalized folks. And I think the funny thing about it is, as we know, trans people are some of the strongest people on the planet.
Yeah. Well, yes, and they shouldn't have to be.
Right. Totally. They're strong because out of necessity.
Yeah,
yes, of course.
They have been strong out of necessity. But, honestly, there's so many babies now who luckily get to just be themselves.
Yeah.
And so they don't have that strength that they don't have that strength that trans people of our generation or older had to develop.
Born out of resilience.
Born out of resilience. They just were trying to be themselves, and their parents loved them enough to let them do that. And then they have to live in the world where people are telling them that they're wrong.
Yeah.
And that is where I think we need to just stand up for them. But the funny thing is, while we're standing up, they realize, oh, the drag queens are always the ones who are always making the ruckus. Let's make that illegal.
Right. Well, we represent, we are part of the other. Mm-hmm. And the other is to be made the enemy by these fearful, corrupt folks. But listen, one day at a time, like, I see the sand going through that hourglass. Like, yes, things might get worse before they get better, but I think we're starting to see a little bit of movement.
Oh, yes. I'm starting
God
to see.
willing,
I'm luckily I think that we're starting to see a lot of people's eyes being open on the other side.
Yeah.
Say, oh, I hate this. Oh, wait. Oh. And unfortunately, it is because it is starting to affect them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because it's starting to affect them, they start to realize, oh, this was never about what I hated. This was never about the goodness, or this was never about the kids.
Yeah.
This is about power.
Yeah.
And I don't have
and
it.
greed.
They don't have it. We all don't have it.
Right.
Maybe we should start working together.
Yeah.
I love seeing that every time.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, I'm sitting next to someone who understands, like, any chance we get, we say, protect trans lives.
Yeah.
Protect trans rights, and keep your hands off of trans kids, period.
Keep your hands off of the children.
Yeah.
Keep your laws off of the children.
Yeah.
Let the children be children. Mm-hmm. If you want to keep saying let the children be children, then let the children be children.
I think for me, when we're talking about the context of the world right now and what's going on and what seems wrong to it from where we're sitting, because let's be honest, like, from where other people sit, they see something wrong. But to me, the fundamental difference is you and I don't, I think, want to tell anyone else what to do with their own body, what to do with their own home, what to do with their time, what to do with their spiritual practice, what to do with their money. So it's like that is the fundamental difference, is that there is an extreme that wants to control and regulate what you and I, or what our friends, or our chosen family, or our people do with their bodies, their time, their everything. And that's the fundamental difference. So I
Talk
hope
about an addiction. The addiction of control. To know what other people are doing and making sure they're not doing what you don't want them to do. Honey, go to therapy.
And we all know, like, if something is that troubling to you about what someone else is doing, what does that say about you?
Yeah, what are you going through, honey?
What are you going through, Mama?
What's happening in your life, honey?
What's happening? Are you going through a psychological change in your life?
Are you going through a psychological change in your life? No, seriously. Also, are you reading that Bible? Are you reading? Can you read? Is the real question. Because I'm starting to realize that reading is fundamental. And actually, people can't read. A lot more people.
Sorry. No shame to the illiterate community.
If you can't read, that's not me saying it's that, learn. When I say people can't read, I am not being elitist. I'm not saying that, you can't read, how dare you talk to me? But how dare you talk to me about a book?
It's also
when you can't even read the book,
or about their interpretation of it,
And then, so that's what I'm going to say. And it's less about being able to read, because yes, you can read a book, but what is your comprehension?
Yeah.
Can you comprehend what you've just read? And if you are reading a book in the King James, if you're reading the King James Bible and you're trying to comprehend that to me, but you can barely comprehend your actual history book, maybe we should get a new Bible. There is a new Bible. Read the new Bible. Don't read the King James Bible, because the King James Bible is in a language that none of us speak anymore.
Well, and also the Bible that was, I think, revised sometime in
the 40s,
the mid last century. There was a lot of language that became changed, and so what you think is the way it is in the good book, in the big book, no, it's not.
But guess what? Jesus' words didn't change.
Right, exactly.
Jesus' words actually supersede all of the things that you keep talking about. If you're a Christian, then you should be listening to Jesus' words. However, all these Christians, these white national, if you can say white nationalist Christian and actually say that with a straight face, wild to me. But all you white nationalist Christians clearly are not adhering to Christ, so you're not a Christian. That's just how logic works. So use a little logic next time. I could talk about this.
We could talk about this all day.
And you're not even Christian. You're Jewish.
I'm Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Jewish faith also teaches a lot of acceptance and love for everybody.
It varies, and it depends how devout you are. There are certainly more conservative and religious folks that need to listen to our wise words.
Well, the one thing that I always loved about the Jewish religion is always taught you to question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
question everything.
I was told by a very religious by a rabbi once that Judaism is about being the best person you can be, and I was like, well, that's pretty simple. I can get down with that. I can,
Yeah.
But look, to be honest, and this is a whole nother thing, the context of where the world is right now. Like, I find I am more scared as a Jewish person than I ever thought I would be in my lifetime, and that's both for my own safety at times, but it's also because I think that there's a lot of assumptions that get made about where my beliefs and values lie.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous to make assumptions about anybody.
Yeah, it's always been dangerous. It's always been, it's always led to incredibly brutal and horrible things happening. People make all sorts of assumptions about this skin.
Yeah.
For the first, something happens to someone who looks like me. What did they do? What were they doing? Why were they there?
Right.
Who were they with? You know what I mean? Like, Trayvon Martin's just trying to go to his house and gets gunned down.
Yeah.
And the person gets off because this person was just trying to go to his own house. You know what I mean? So we as a people should remember why we pledge our allegiance to our flag and remember the freedoms that we're all supposed to have and stop making shit up that just suits us in this moment. I love this one thing about RuPaul is that she is very much into self-love, and I'm a self-love advocate, and I believe that if you love yourself to the fullest, then you have no choice but to love others. Like when you really love yourself, then loving others is just the natural next step.
Because acceptance is a part of that love.
Yes, exactly.
Accepting yourself, and yes, you're right.
Yeah. It's when she says, how are you going to love somebody else if you can't love yourself? And I always say, I take it a bit further. Love yourself. I say love yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you no questions.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is a practice that we need to do. We need to hug ourselves and say, I truly love and accept myself every single day.
Wow.
Because it really, really helps. It really feels good to do it, even if you don't feel it in that moment.
Yeah.
And I try to do that everywhere I go. It's my way of being an advocate because, I don't know everything about all the rest of it. But I do know something about self-love.
Well, amen, Sapphira.
And I know something about love. Hey, y'all. One thing we drag queens know about is hair. Oh, I love hair. I love big hair, little hair, long hair, curly hair, short hair. I love it all. But one thing I hate, damaged hair. Oh, my boyfriend colors his hair all the time. It gets so damaged. And something you might not know, as a drag queen who wears wigs constantly, the hair underneath all this stuff, damaged, horrible. Why do you think RuPaul is bald? Because they didn't have K18's molecular repair hair mask to save that hair. Luckily, I do. I was so worried my hair was going to be ruined until I tried K18's molecular hair repair mask. K18 uses biotech to actually fix the problem deep down in your hair rather than just covering it up. Now, I may not be a scientist, but I am Mother, and Mother knows best. So let me tell you, K18's molecular repair hair mask is the best. The patented K18 peptide repairs hair on the molecular level, so you can keep using bleach, color, and heat and still have strong, bouncy hair. Hair can be a drag, but it doesn't have to be. Get hair like new with the K18 mask. Shop at Sephora or get 10% off your first purchase at K18hair.com with code Sapphira. That's code SAPPHIRA at K18hair.com. You were on Drag Race on season 9.
Allegedly.
And then season All Stars of 8.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 6 years between the two?
Let's see. Okay, so I filmed season 9 in 16. It aired in 17. And then I filmed
season 8 in like
22.
Yeah.
So how many is that from 17? Is
That's
that
6 years.
5, 6 years?
That's 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time. I wasn't sure if it was going to come around. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but it did.
What would you say was the hardest part about coming back to Drag Race after such a long time?
A lot of well, what's funny is I tried so long to get on the first time.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah, you were
right.
You were one of the ones that people were like, well, you
8 times.
8 times. And then Nina West 9 times.
Yep.
And me 11 times.
11? Baby, let that be a lesson to you. Persistence.
Keep going.
Persistence
When
pays
it's your
off.
time, it's your time.
If you believe in something, if you dream it, if you persist at it, you can do it. Wow, that's wild. 11.
You got to show up.
You have to show up. But yeah, so the first time after, having applied 8 times before I got it the first time, there was a lot of anticipation, which made that was part of my challenge the first time. And I think similarly, there was like a lot of hope and anticipation. And frankly, and this was at a time when I still wasn't as spiritually fit as I am now, there was a lot of fear.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear the second time. I had so much that I perceived about the way I was perceived the first time that I was leading from a place of fear about coming back again. And, call it my perception, but like I think, some of my fears were met in coming back again.
Do you feel like you might have manifested those fears?
That's always possible, right?
Yeah.
Listen, my biggest goal going back was like, my drag was first time. So like, really.
Was it?
There were some okay moments.
Yeah, but
I was a better drag queen back then than I represented on the show.
Okay.
We both, I think the year before, placed in the Miss America pageant.
Yes.
In Atlantic City. We were top 5. And the queen that was up there in that top 5 never turned to look like that on Drag Race the first time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back and like I wanted to look like $1 million.
Yeah.
So I spent a not so small fortune and brought a good package.
Yeah.
And so, I did that part. And beyond that, my goal was just like, don't filter, just like be as full as you can, give them everything, hoping that they would, show a complete person. And they showed what they showed.
Well, I love you. You were splendid.
Thank you.
You are splendid.
Forever memorable.
Always memorable.
Always memorable.
One of my favorite memories of you it was your original season, and it has become a part of just like the zeitgeist of the world is, have you seen the show, Tamar?
Do you watch the show, Tamar?
Do you watch the show, Tamar?
Yeah.
And we've all we've made our own versions of it. I always say, have you seen the show, Tamar?
Yeah.
Do you watch the show, Tamar?
Yeah.
I say that to anybody. I say it way more often than you would think.
Wait, did you say it on your season?
I might have.
Somebody did, and I think it might have even been like your first episode, if I remember right.
Someone said something. They were like, "Are we doing this?" And I was like, "Do you watch the show, Tamar?"
I think you said it on your season.
Yeah, I mean, it happens at least once a season.
That's so funny.
Which is like, how does it feel to be so iconic that you're like one of the girls who is quoted constantly?
I think like again, like about sort of where I'm at now. Like I am so happy to embrace the iconography, whatever shade it came in,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, in the moment, how did it feel? Maybe not in the moment when you saw it.
When I saw it come back, I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I think it was a valid question.
That's the thing is I was like, I think what's interesting about it, and I won't say too much, but I think that it's very telling because it was actually a pretty transparent question. And I think anyone watching the show knows, about the, Michelle's distaste
for
for green. Even though she does, we know now she loves jewel tones.
Yeah.
It's just the kind of like, pea or acid greens that she doesn't love. So I think it was a very transparent question, and I think it was interesting that it made the edit because it was kind of telling of like a narrative. You know,
well,
what
they
I mean?
know what's cunt.
Yeah.
They know what's gonna be iconic. And honestly,
I guess
that asking Tamar Braxton,
right. I guess it took some
judge,
nerve.
Do you watch the show? Have you seen this show, Miss Thing? Why are you even here? What are you doing judging this? Do you even watch drag queens? Do you know a drag queen?
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
that's how it felt to me. But honestly, it also felt genuine. So like,
Yeah, it was.
And I don't think there's anything to be. There's nothing to apologize for that.
No, and I'm not even mad about it. If anything, like, it was very honest, and it was also someone standing up for themselves, fighting tooth and nail for their place.
And it was good TV.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that Alexis Michelle is good TV.
Good TV.
Would you go back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think.
And I only ask because, as you said before, both times, you just weren't where you are today.
That was the turn I was going to take. My first answer is I don't think so. I don't know that it's the healthiest place for me. However, I have never been in the place I'm at now when I was there.
Yeah.
There were all sorts of fears, insecurities, vulnerabilities, which, vulnerability isn't bad. It's actually a strength. But, in some ways, like, I was bolstered and like shiny looking the second time. But in other ways, I was almost more vulnerable because there had been some trauma after the first time that led to a lot of unhealthy coping.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, I would say I was more vulnerable going back again because those unhealthy coping mechanisms, I already knew how to do them.
Yeah.
And they showed their ugly heads again.
Yeah. I would love to see this Alexis Michelle on the show again. The reason I say that is because when I went, I don't know. People always go, I can't believe it took them so long to get Sapphira Cristál on there. And I say, I'm glad it took them so long. Because by the time I got there, I was sober. I had been going to therapy for quite some time.
Yeah.
I invested in my drag. There are things I just pulled out of the closet for this show.
Right.
It's not even, I didn't even like have to buy nothing. I said, oh, we have that already. Okay, cool. We already have that. I was so ready. So when I got there, I wasn't fearful of anything. Luckily, I had so many friends who had been on the show.
Yeah.
So I got to like be there while they dealt with the aftermath.
Yeah.
So I got to see, okay, this is what I want to do. This is not what I want to do. And I got to hear people talk about it. And then some of them said, just do you.
Yeah.
Be you. Go. You were one of them.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Go be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't make anything up for yourself. Don't have any preconceived notions of what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Here's the thing. That's the truth, and that's advice I would share with anybody because that is ultimately, what they want and what will make you come off the best on camera. But in your case, like, I really knew if you can just do that, baby, you'll be so set. And do it, you did, Yeah. I mean, you showed with such flying colors. But again, it's not surprising based on you saying like the evolution in your own life.
Yeah.
That you had the journey that you were already well on by the time being put in that pressure cooker.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we all thought you were going to win. And
you and me both, sisters.
And let's be honest, like you did.
Yeah. I'm doing quite well.
To get that far, I've always thought there's a certain win to going, halfway. There's a certain win to going to top 4 or top 3 or whatever, like the final
finale,
looks like. That's a win.
That's a win. That's the win. When you get there, you won.
Exactly.
And then the rest is who's going to win this money.
Right.
That's all the rest of it.
Yeah, there's a certain branding that comes with like taking the crown, but like you're absolutely a winner in so many ways. But I'm going to flip it on you. Would you go back?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would always go back.
Unfinished business.
I do have some unfinished business. I have a crown to get. As you know, I am a crown seeker and collector.
And collector, mama.
I'm a crown collector. And I was expecting that crown to come to my house and be sitting on my crown shelf. So I always have, at my house, I have a bunch of crowns.
Yep.
And then in the middle of my mantle, like above my mantle, there is a shelf of the current crown. So whatever I am currently goes there. And right now it's empty.
Word.
And I hate that. I hate it so much. But I plan on putting that crown on that shelf one of these days.
Yeah.
If I ever get that call.
What about, so obviously that's, that's the biggest televised drag pageant in the world. What about other pageantry? Because that's, again, you wouldn't?
No.
Really?
No. I never did pageants because I like pageants. I collect crowns. But what
likes crowns.
What comes along with crowns is the prize money.
Yeah.
And honestly, there is no pageant right now that has a prize high enough for me to want to do it.
Well, like, for example, I know with Continental, it may be a more modest, dollar amount, but there's a built-in guarantee of work.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but
You're working.
I'm working.
You're working,
I'm good.
yeah.
I don't really need.
Yeah.
I love Continental Queens. They're phenomenal. They're beautiful. They're inspiring to me.
Oh my God.
And I've been blessed enough to meet some of them. Stasha Sanchez most recently.
Yes.
And I just was like,
yeah.
It's a gag.
I live
but
for that
for
system.
me, this is my pet. This is my system.
Yeah.
The Drag Race system is my system.
Word.
And I will be going back as soon as I get a call, and I will be, aiming to win again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really like pageants.
I want to go back to pageants.
What do you want to do?
I mean, look, we've already spoken about Continental because I also live and breathe and stan the Continental Queens. Just that level of excellence, and entertainment is so meaningful to me. But I think I might be a gay America girly.
Really?
I think so.
I could see that for you.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean,
so we'll see.
You have that beautiful face, and if you see after she takes this off, baby, I've never seen a more hairy person in my life. And this is what I love about your drag, because I think people will see you and be like, oh, that is a woman, and then you take it off, you're like, oh, daddy. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's the dichotomy is.
I used to really torture my body with a lot of hair removal, and I've had to stop because of some sensitivities in my skin. So it's by necessity.
Did you do Nair or something?
Oh, back in the day, back when I was a kid, I would Nair from my ankle all the way up to my ass, and I have very sensitive skin. You can do that once and it's okay, but go back and try to touch it up 2 to 3 weeks later. I burned myself something fierce.
So what did you do for hair?
A lot of shaving. I was doing laser on my back. I think if I was gonna try to do any more hair removal, it would be laser, would be safer. But I have issues from shaving.
Yeah.
That are pretty serious.
Yeah.
So this is.
I don't shave
by necessity.
This is where it ends.
Yeah, but I like it, and it's gentler on my body, which we're talking about looking after yourself and self-care, and part of that is being gentler on my body. Yes, I what I did before is I'm fleshy, and
so you get to put them.
I have
up.
some good. I can serve good titty, you know, but I still do.
You be serving good titty. You be serving good everything. Because you are a New York queen.
Yes.
And New York queens are a special brand of queen. What would you say, how would you say that drag has developed over the years just in New York?
In New York. Well, you asked me about my evolution, and New York evolves.
Yeah.
New York is, if not one of the top entertainment hubs in the world. And so it attracts a lot of talent. A lot of people come to New York.
But you were born and raised here.
I'm born and raised here, but I, from a very young age. I had, my sights set on the lights of Broadway, and that dream still, is burning bright. And drag was this thing that, like, because I grew up here, I was exposed to it young, and I saw it from a young age, and like it was this feeling that is within me that goes beyond performance, that goes beyond costume, that is tapping into a female side.
Yeah.
I didn't know it then, but that was always cooking, brewing, simmering. So this sort of side piece, drag was sort of like the side piece to my theatrical and acting dreams that I was fostering along the way, kind of in tandem. But yeah, I think that's part of the thing about New York is being such a performance hub. It attracts such a high level of talent and such variety. I think you see more strength in variety in the drag in New York. I think that's what makes it so dynamic. And, when we met, you were Philly based. And like, even though it's not New York City, you were on a very similar track of performance.
Oh, yeah. I used to live in New York before we met.
And like coming from theater, coming from classical music, from studying singing, like, we both know what that Italian yellow book of songs is, mama. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce knows, and so do we.
Exactly. Well, Beyonce went to my high school, so I know she knew Cuddle Me Up In because that was the song that every single freshman had to sing.
Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself leaving the city, or you're ready to die?
It's so funny, like, as a child growing up here, like dreaming of being on Broadway, like I thought I'd never live anywhere else. But it's been my travels by way of this life and this art form and drag and drag race that have made me go, oh, I could live somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think I'll always want to
have a house here.
Keep my roots here, have a pied-à-terre. But yeah, I would love to have a home with some space and some land to grow fruits and vegetables and flowers.
Have a couple ducks.
Have some animals. Yeah, more dogs. Separate, room or floor for the drag. But yeah, I think this will always be home, and I always want to feel connected to it, but I could totally live somewhere else.
Nice. Well, we're going to do some viewer questions.
Oh, shit.
Honey, we love it when our viewers write in, so if you have anything to ask me or our fabulous guests, make sure you write Sapphira. Our first question is, what's your favorite thing to cook? Asked by Queenie B3.
Well,
because you be cooking.
I do love to cook.
Yeah, me too. I remember coming to your house.
Yes.
I forget what was going on in your life, and we were like, we're coming over and we're cooking for you.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Might have been a breakup or my dog passing, maybe.
I think it was maybe your dog passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do I love to make? Well, I love a soup, honey. And we're in soup season. It's on. And of course, my vegan or vegetarian girlies, I know we can do a vegetable broth, but for me, the base of almost every soup is like a good chicken soup.
Okay, chicken. Okay.
So you got to know how to make your broth, your stock. They're not exactly the same.
I like a good beef. A bone beef.
Beef
bone broth.
I mean, that's the thing. Adding bones, adding fat adds flavor. That gives your soup body. Yeah. And whether it's like, this time of year, I'm really keen on like butternut squash.
Okay.
Onion, garlic. You could do apple, but honestly, the squash is sweet enough for me.
Apple soup?
Like adding some apple, because you puree. You puree the whole thing when it's all soft. So butternut squash and apple is very popular. But I usually don't even do apple because the squash for me is sweet enough. Yeah. But yeah, chicken soup with matzo balls. I love a roast chicken. I quoted Ina Garten earlier, and she's my roast chicken goddess.
Yeah. I love duck. I love duck.
Really?
I love even if I'm not gonna make a chicken, I like a Cornish hen. For Thanksgiving a couple years ago, I just made like 4 or 5 Cornish hens.
So I too, because Thanksgiving is actually
I hate turkey, so
Thanksgiving is probably my favorite meal of the year to cook. And about 4 years ago, I stopped making turkey. I just do chickens.
I do duck. I'll make 2 ducks. And every once in a while, I'll do some Cornish hens, but I really prefer duck. Also, after you've cooked duck, all that fat, it's great for potatoes for like the next 3 months. It's duck fat is so supreme.
There's this wonderful woman, Coco, who cooks on IG, and I watch her stuff daily. And she just made like an English Sunday roasted potato.
Ooh, yeah.
Where you like heat up the fat in the pan in the oven, and then you like parboil the potatoes, get them a little fluffy and drained, and then you like coat them in the hot oil, and then they go back in and they roast, and they get like they're all like creamy and soft in the middle, and they get that
nice crunch,
that crust, honey.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look that up. You're gonna send me.
I'm gonna send it to you.
My next question is: besides yourself, who do you think does the best Liza impersonation? Asked by Ashley Hahn 16.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, your Liza is.
Thank you.
Still girl.
Listen, she's done well, not only for me on the Snatch Game, but she's done well for several of the sisters. And they're all great. They're all really wonderful, truly. I'm going to give an unexpected answer.
Okay.
I'm going to shout out someone who has never been on Drag Race.
Oh.
Because, props to all the Drag Race girls who have done Liza. But a friend of mine from back in the day when we met, Schwa de Vive.
Schwa.
Yeah. Does really one of the funniest Lizas.
Oh, nice.
And continues to make wonderful content online.
Her Liza is sickening.
So funny.
Yeah, and she cooks.
Yeah. And makes drinks, and it's very funny.
Oh, yeah.
We used to do a number together back in the year that you and I met, I think. She and I used to do a dueling Liza number.
Oh, nice.
Where we would like go back and forth, and then it ended with like a red sequin caftan reveal, and then we did the hot honey rag as two
so
Lizas.
Cute. Yeah, I love that.
Also, shout out to one of my OG heroines of drag, Randy Roberts, who continues to work every night, looking so stunning, so glamorous, so polished. Such a lovely person, and I just saw her doing Liza the other night online, and I was like, you better, Miss Randy.
Liza, Bet, Cher, Randy does it all.
All the queens, and that's from the old school, art form that we're in. It was not only female impersonation but celebrity female impersonation.
My favorite thing about it is Randy would come out as one, go back during maybe like a 5-minute video or something,
and completely transform
into the next person, and you don't see that anymore.
No, that's part of the art form that has probably drifted away.
Which I don't understand why, because it's really quite artistic.
It is.
What is next for Alexis?
So, I'm super excited to be within the first couple months of my debut as an author.
Yes!
No tea, no shade. Life as a drag queen. I got to, make this debut as an author alongside 5 other incredible authors and queens and sisters.
How did this come about?
We were approached by HarperCollins, by Harper One.
All of you individually or together?
We were approached as individuals, and we were brought together by our incredible, spear carrier and editor, Angela, and she just really believed in this idea, and that the world needed to hear from us specifically. We were chosen not randomly, but for things that we had either written about or said in interview, or our background in activism. So to do this alongside Julie J and Nina West and Olivia Lux and Kennedy Ann Scott and Laguna Blue, our experiences, are as varied as our drag and our identities. And what everybody shares in this is so personal.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Drag Race has started to do in a way that had never been done with drag, has shown you something behind the curtain. And that this book, I think, tries to take it a step further. And so I did not imagine a year and a half ago when we started working on it that it would be as essential as it is right now to speak from our perspectives in a way that needs to reach people.
Exactly.
So I'm so excited that that's going on, and I think that that's going to be part of my future. I wanted to write for a long time, and I was afraid to.
Why?
Again, we talk about the fear that stops us.
Why were you afraid to?
I've always been able to talk. Like, we know I love to talk, right?
Yeah.
You'd never know, like, will that translate to the written page? And according to my editor, apparently it does. And so I have some ideas for a longer form piece. And we'll be, making some choices there soon, I think. So there'll be more writing coming for sure.
Awesome.
And more, live performance. I thrive on stage. We both do.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We both actually just
got off tour.
We had a tour recently over the fall of Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
And we were both Mary Sanderson.
We're both the Mary. Wait, let's do it. You ready?
1, 2, 3. So, yeah.
It's so funny that, like, at the same time, we're both doing Hocus Pocus parodies. One steered by the awesome Ginger Minge. Congrats, Ginger, on your win.
Yes, congrats.
And, the other one steered by my good Judy Tina Burner. And, this is a show, Witch Perfect is something she's been doing for 8 years. And for the last 4 with me and Scarlet Envy. And what I love about this, for you and me specifically, and I love that we were playing the same part, is we have this long friendship history, sisterhood. But it's also very indicative of, like, there's room for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's room for everyone. We both had wonderful tours. We both had very successful tours.
Yeah.
And you don't have to just choose your favorite. You can choose to go and enjoy a great show. You go and enjoy some great performances. Our shows were nothing alike.
Yeah.
They were 2 great shows, but they were nothing alike. And it's always great to just, like, expose yourself to something different.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Drag queens will always bring you something different.
Yes. Yes.
You have been on Drag Race. You've been on stages all around the country. You're now an author.
Yeah.
And you've always been my friend. I am so incredibly happy to have had you on Sapphira. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for enjoying Alexis Michelle. Always remember to truly love and accept who you are, when you are, where you are, how you are. You are perfect today. Goodbye.